Well, today's job was supposed to be fitting this cross member, and I had an idea about putting a plastic tub underneath with some acid on it to clean off the zinc inside and out where we're going to be welding. Unfortunately, it looks like one of the little spiky bits which I didn't see on the zinc has pierced the bottom of my container. The downside about these people when they send them for galvanising is they never fettle them up. So the sharp points everywhere. They're just really finger cutting points, as if you've done any galvanising you'll know. So first of all, we've got to do a lot of fettling to this, like all these holes need drilling out. These bits are okay, drilling out. But most importantly, the tapped holes underneath here, they all need drilling and tapping. Yeah, and a few other bits and pieces. But I did notice some nasty, yeah, see, look, like these bits here, little spiky bits. That's not too bad, but there's spiky bits all over. So we'll get on with that and finish cleaning this up. Looks like we're going to have to do it by hand now, grinding, which I don't particularly like, but you can't weld on zinc. Got to get it off somehow, and the acid was the easiest way, but it's obviously not working. So why don't I buy some more acid? Well, it's holiday Monday and everything is closed. Right, let's see what the next step is. So we've got the cross member in, and we're just about ready to weld it up. I just wanted to show you one or two little tricks and things like this. It's handy to put a bottle jack on the axle and push this up so that the mountings up here are touching. They're all nice and touching even, so that means we can't go any higher. Sadly, the holes are a little bit out for the shock, so we've got to sort those out. Not a big deal. And they're about half a hole out. We had a bit of a trouble with this, getting this on. It's nice and flush now, but you probably won't be able to see it this side. Oh, do you want to bring light round, Ludi?
Yep.
That's it. Just shine it up there, though. There. You can see down here we've got those mountings for the seat belts. Just hold that like that, will you? We've got those seat belt tubes here, and they're quite rigid, and they've stopped the chassis from coming this way, so we had a little bit of a trouble. Putting the fish wire through was a great idea because it goes right down to the floor. So while we were putting it up, we could fish the wire through, so that's good to go. So what we're going to do is, because we've got the bottle jack on that side, we're going to tack that other side up first and then weld it in, and that's all there is to it. Right, let's get welding. With the chassis now welded on, I just buffed up all this PC that wasn't, we ground off the zinc, and we're just going to give it a little bit of a coating of cold galvanise, and then we'll decide what to do around the rest of the frame. So let's have a look at it and see a few little issues that we had. Right, we'll film this, Ludi.
Okay.
Just to see, because what we found a really good used sender on the shelf, amazingly enough, and all the steel work was good. So we've put that in, the tank's ready to go. We're going to drop the tank in, and then it looks like it's going to be lunchtime. We've put a long pipe, we've replaced all the steel pipes with nylon flex pipe, so that's going to be good, that's going to last a long time. But then, before that, we're going to spray it with some wax on the top to stop any further corrosion. So the next thing, we'll drop the tank in, eh?
Yeah, drop the tank, the guard.
Yeah, we should be alright. Right, let's get on. All these parts came from Rovers North, made in the UK, but I don't know where this galvanised shield was made. Well, it's funny because the corner's not quite right here. The angles, I'm not bothered about that because it'll let any water out. But the holes here are slotted as far as they can go that way, but they need to go a little bit more, which seems odd because this is all welded all up together. But you can see that flat plate there, we're butting up against it. So I really don't know what to do with that. Yeah, there's a lot of other things to do on this frame, I just realised that a piece has gone inside. Yeah, it went alright, it went pretty good. It fitted really nice. I've just got a few bolts to put in here, a few bits and bobs. The wiring's going to come out. I have to put another... Down here wasn't too good. Let's put a bit of light on. Down here was starting to spit through. We've got some good welds on the top. It was a bit rusty up there, but we managed to clean it up. When I put these mountings on, I'm going to have to put a washer or two under here to space that out again, so the shock mounting is level. But you can see somebody's welded a patch down here, but I'm going to have to put a little strip down there because it wasn't very good. I didn't really anticipate that, but I might just do that. I don't know. We'll see about doing that later. I don't know. I want to press on and get this on its wheels at least. So that's what we're up to now. Next thing, like I say, spray all these up. Then we'll decide whether we're going to paint it or, you know, just put a bit of black on it. I really don't know. So this is the rear shield as it feels in its natural place at the bottom. And you can see here now how tight this corner is here. There's room on the slots, but unfortunately, and this was our dilemma, when we come up to this piece here, it's actually overlapping and we need to bolt onto this tab here. So that's not good. And also, if you can maybe see under there, yeah, the hole doesn't line up the holes here. So even if I was to grind this off, I'd have to mess about and play around with it. So, and of course this gap here just looks off. So we're going to take it off, we're going to bend it here, bend it here. We're going to make a paper template to come down off here, take it to the shop and see if they can rebend it. Now it is galvanised and we'll probably crack the galvanise, but we'll have to just put some cold galvanised spray on it. Nothing else we can do. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but I'm not going to send it away and get it re-galvanised. Yeah, because this being a North American spec, we've got the toe-in bumper to go on the back, which is kind of critical, so we don't want to be putting spacers on here because it's going to put everything else out. So let's have a look at how Rovers North said we should have had this fitted. So this is how Rovers North say it was supposed to be fitted. You put these bolts in the holes and you can see now that you've got place. This isn't overlapping, but I've got 60 Newton meters on this bolt, and as you can see there's a great big gap here. You don't want to bend it. I mean, there's plenty of room to manoeuvre it, and I don't suppose you can see inside, but the tank, it's not hitting on the tank. I'm sure this has to go a little bit deeper, so we'll take it down the shop and get it bent just a little bit. It's going to be a little bit backwards and forwards job, but I want to make it better because you see the holes in here, these are really tight to get in, these bolts, but you can see there's still a slot there, so this has to go, this has got a provision to go back even further, and I think that the distance between the bolt and the gap, by the time we get it all rebent, this will come up pretty tight and it'll look nice as well. So there we go. Oh, also, when you get these cross members, before you fit them, tap out all the holes. There's some 10mm and there's some 12mm, but tap them all out because it'll make your life so much more easier. Alrighty, so let's see what this looks like when we've got it bent. Before I show you, and I'll try and describe with this piece of cardboard, the tank shield has a section like this, if you cross section, bent here, and this is parallel to here. Alright, so what was happening was this edge was sticking out too far and the gap here was way too large. So I took it down the shop and we repressed it. Now this is why I'm showing you a piece of cardboard. When you bend something like this and you repress and change the angles, this gets taller, if you see what I mean. So this will remain the same, but now it's pushing this piece down, so you've got to compromise to get it in, because I didn't really want to cut it and mess about with it. And also, if you noticed originally, this corner wasn't fitted nice, so if you slid the tank shield back and tweaked it a little bit, it fitted. Alright, so there's something to watch for. But really, what really needed doing was this piece here at the bottom wanted flattening out, and the bend wanted to be, you know, sort of like that, moved across a little bit. But because it was already galvanised, it would have made a right pig's ear of it. Let me show you. So although we've still got a gap here, it's not as bad, but you can perhaps see what I was banging on about. You see, this is kicked up ever so slightly. It's not parallel really, but it's close. But this before was overhanging this hole. You know, so we had to push it back a bit. Didn't want to cut it because even then our holes would be out. So it's been a right palaver to fit that, but it's in. An even worse one was trying to get these bolts in here. No wonder they missed them out before. They were quite tight. Anyway, that's in. So today's job is to change all this lot, change the brake pipes, and also we've got a job of that's me and you know, fitting a British style plug to the back of this. This is a North American. What the hell is that thing? Oh, there. I thought I broke it. That's a North American style. Let me bring the light around a bit and I'll show you. This is a North American style. See, it's got flat pins, but the Sankey trailer that's outside's got got round pins to correspond with that kit. Now, let's go around here and I'll show you what else was fiendish. You see, round here, I cut the harness. Get this light round a bit better. That's a bit better. I cut the harness here. You know, so when we passed a fish wire through. But there was method in my madness, because now I can link up the light straight up to there. Not the light, but the trailer plug straight up to that harness and miss out all the connections inside. So I can solder them all together, and then these will all push back into the chassis. Job done, and it looks smart. I've also got the shocker bushes to replace, but yeah, they really needed doing. You can see that one down there is absolutely shot. So we're going to spin off the nuts, and then we can reconnect all the pipework. That's going to be fun, isn't it? Oh, I want to get this out today. These bolts under here, they were a right pig of a job to do, because one of them's here and the other one is under here, and if the bolt's too long it hits the back of the swing away carrier. Apart from that, no, it didn't fit too bad, and it looks okay. It looks nice. These are nice and flush as they should be. Yeah. You can see I've done the brakes. I think I told you that in another video. So once that's on, then we can drop this down and I can get on with the footwells.